Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Power Rangers. If you didn't hear, Hasbro and Paramount, according to Variety, are going to be producing a new Power Rangers movie with the End of the Effing World creator, Jonathan Entwistle, to direct. And they also are getting the writer of Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, is going to be running it. First of all, the creator I'm not too familiar with. I don't watch The End of the Effing World, which is on Netflix. Apparently he's going to direct this Power Ranger reboot and for Hasbro and Paramount. But I did see a couple of reviews, and the reviews do look really positive for that show, so that's pretty cool. As for the Peter Rabbit writer, Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, which comes out, I guess, in 2020, because it's not out yet. That's the part that scares me. But look, I'm willing to give anybody a chance. Maybe this person has a really good pitch for this movie that he gave to the studio that that the studio really liked, which they have given a little bit of details about. Here it is. According to the Variety, it sounds like one of the big elements that they're going to have is that the Rangers in this movie will travel back in time to the 90s. Okay. So the 90s makes sense for the nostalgia value, because if you guys know, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the original Power Ranger series, aired back in 1993. I was just 10 years old during that time. So I was a kid who became a fan of that show, who grew up with it for a very long time. Officially, I want to say I watched all the way up to Power Rangers RPM, which was in 2009. I did see Power Rangers Samurai and Mega Force in 2011 to 2014. But by the time it got to the second season of Mega Force, I was already didn't really care. And I was just watching the clips that I wanted to see online, because that was the season where they started using the powers from past seasons, and that's really what I wanted to see. And when I realized there wasn't really any past Rangers, I was like, yeah, screw it. I'll just watch the rest of it, the clips that I really want online. Although I did return, I did see the finale of that one, and I did see the Ninja Steel crossover anniversary episode. So there are times I do like to check out what's going on with the show, but I am not as religiously invested in it like I was back in Mighty Morphin through RPM. I have kind of let go of the show since RPM ended, and I've been gravitating to other superhero shows and movies that are made for a slightly older audience, like the young adult, older audience type TV shows, like the Arrowverse stuff, or the Defenders, Daredevil, Punisher. Those shows I'm now more into than Power Rangers. But when it came to the 2017 movie, I was really into that. I really, really enjoyed that movie because it brought out things that I loved about the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers into a new format. And I really enjoyed that cast, and I was sad that we weren't going to get a sequel to that movie. But Hasbro, yes, they're going to give us a new movie with time-traveling elements in it, taking us back to the 90s to give us that good old nostalgia feel. I'm going to be honest, though, I need to see more coming from this movie. Right now, the director I'm not too sure of, but then again, I wasn't too familiar with the director of the 2017 movie, too. Same thing with the writer. I wasn't too familiar with who that person was either, so maybe these people can prove it to me. I really want this franchise to succeed. I think there's potential in it. You don't have a kids show run for over almost 30 years now and have it be successful unless more and more kids are watching the show as the years pass by, right? Because the show is only on because the toys are selling and because kids are probably watching the show. It might not hit that popularity that it had when it once started, because people today don't remember, maybe, but when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was first aired, it was a huge hit. And if you don't believe me, there's documentaries on Power Rangers that you can watch. There's that show on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us. And in its third season, they have an episode about Power Rangers, the Power Ranger toys, and how successful those toys were. And it's true. They say about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, when that first came out, the toys sold like crazy, that people were even calling at Toys R Us and yelling at them, saying, "Why don't you have more of these toys in demand?" So the show was really huge back in the day, and it obviously never gained back that same popularity, but some seasons have a lot of fans behind them. There's some seasons that are that fans put above more than others, and for good reasons too. I don't think Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is the best season, but I know other seasons that I really like that I think are better. And I hope that this new Power Ranger reboot, considering that time travel is an element, I wonder if they're going to borrow some ideas from other seasons, because Power Rangers Time Force was a time-traveling Power Rangers season. And I'm not saying they're going to do an adaptation of that, but maybe borrow some elements and ideas. Maybe the whole movie can be about a Ranger going back in time to the 90s, where the 90s Rangers were, and maybe just like the 2009 Star Trek movie, where the old Spock went back in time and time changed, and that's how it created an alternate timeline. Maybe that's what they could do with this new movie to allow the writers of these future films, if they decide to make more, maybe that will allow them to go in a creative way while maintaining some of the lore and ideas and borrowing that to pave a new future ahead of them. Just something I thought would be an interesting way to take the franchise. I don't know if Hasbro and Paramount want to borrow that idea, go for it, if I didn't make it too confusing. But look, yes, of course I'm looking forward to this movie. Also, it depends on the cast. I hope if you're really going to go big for this, get a really good cast that can, like the last cast was. I think the last cast have now go on and are doing other things. Naomi Scott is definitely getting a lot of attention now. She played Princess Jasmine. She was in the Charlie's Angels reboot, so she's doing really good for herself. And Dacre Montgomery, who played the Red Ranger, he's in Stranger Things. We'll see what he does now that his character was killed off in season 3. So yeah, look, just get a really good cast like that cast was, and surround them with a really good supporting cast, and hopefully it will be a really good movie. There's a lot of lore in your disposal, so hopefully whatever they do pleases the fans. And I want to see what the costumes look like too, more about the villains, etc. So, I don't know, we'll see. So with that being said, guys, I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, especially if you're a huge Power Ranger fan. I am a Power Ranger fan at heart. I might not watch the show anymore, but I do have a lot of history with that show. And I've done quite a bit of videos about the show, too. One of my highest viewed videos is Power Ranger actors and other popular shows and movies, which is my highest viewed video, so you can check that out, too. With that being said, guys, until next time, take care.